The Knicks lose again. It's fine. We're Knicks fans. We know what losers is like. Believe me, this is nothing new.
Oh yeah, we know what this is like.
This is...
I think we see Willis coming out.
Johnson cuts left, now fires a three. It is good, and he's fouled!
Hey guys, Terry and Trey here again. We want to just give a little wrap up over the last few games that the Knicks have had.
Yep.
We are on a little losing streak. We are 1-4, about to be 1-5 because we play Golden State on Friday.
Hey, you never know.
However, we know this is a development year.
Right.
KP is out. Our #1 star player. I believe that we're the only team in the NBA that does not have their star player healthy and playing. And to be quite honest with you, I don't think that he's going to be playing this season at all. Does it even really make sense for him to play at this point?
Yeah, he's not playing. He's not playing. I think we would have heard news by now. But back to this game tonight. So this was the first game since Fizdale's been here that we got like just blown out. Even in preseason, the games they lost, when they went down big by 15, 20 points, they found a way to kind of come back and make it a little close.
They had that third quarter comeback.
Third quarter comeback,
yeah.
Sometimes a fourth quarter comeback, but today it was just kind of flat all around. Back to the Garden against the Warriors, where we're probably going to get another loss for sure. But tonight we saw kind of what I think is going to be the end of this starting lineup. Fizdale mentioned before that he was going to give it one more game. He was going to look at the tape after the first 5 games and figure it out. And this lineup does not work. It doesn't. It starts off badly. You start every game off at a deficit. The bench comes in and plays really well. I think Frank is frozen out. When he's in the starting lineup, Burke and Hardaway are kind of dominating the ball, or Cantor's in the low post.
And Frank is in the corner.
Frank is in the
playing
corner.
A position that he's not familiar with playing. He
Right.
needs to play point guard.
And I'm not giving Frank I'm not cutting him slack. He needs to, if he's going to be a small forward, he's got to figure it out because he's on the court. So it's not as if, it's not your perfect, but life isn't perfect, the NBA isn't perfect, you got to make it work. But in the context of the team, it just doesn't make sense to have Frank out there playing small forward. Dotson tonight, 20 points, 10 rebounds. I think he's gonna be their starting small forward. He's keeping Lee on the injury reserve with that
neck injury that's going down to his chest now. We're hearing new reports, but I don't know.
In fact, Dotson was the only bright spot tonight. I think Fizz spoke about him last game, but we've been even before we had the show, we've always been a fan of Dotson. Always expected him to kind of get into the rotation.
We were a fan of his, but I was actually after seeing his summer league performance.
Yeah,
I was kind of like iffy, and he's really shown to me the last few games that he is really valuable.
He's ready.
Ready to play the game and putting up points.
Right, Dotson. So last year, what really pissed me off was Jeff, that guy, Bernashek. Tim Hardaway was out for like 3 months or whatever, like 2 months or whatever with the shin injury, and Dotson got like no playing time. Late in the season, Dotson scores 30 points and 11, I think 30 and 11 rebounds against the Heat. And tonight again with 20 and 10. He likes playing against the Heat, I guess. But you see him. He can shoot threes, he can rebound, he's athletic, he defends. I see him going in for Frank in the starting lineup, and then Frank going on the bench unit.
Right.
Because I think Frank needs to play point guard. I think the more I look at this, the more I'm like, Frank needs to play point guard.
And he plays better coming off the bench.
Plays better. I think he'll play better with that unit.
That team that they had, there was Frank, it was Noah Vonleh, Mario Hazonia, Trier. They were really energetic, young, and they were good.
They were good. They were exciting.
Really fluid. Really fluid together.
We saw a bit of it in the last game when they played the Bucks for a couple minutes there. We saw it again tonight, kind of around the second quarter. But that team, motion offense, they passed the ball. I'm looking forward to see what happens. I think when Kevin Knox comes back, Kevin Knox goes into the starting lineup at the 3. And Dotson comes on the bench, and then we have, we'll figure it out. But I think definitely that backup unit is what we're going to see. I think we love Frank. We want Frank to play as much as possible. I think he's better served being the point guard off the bench as opposed to being the starting small forward because he looks lost.
Agree. And Noah Vonleh.
Oh man,
really liking as well.
Noah Vonleh, I saw even today Hassan Whiteside was kind of having his way with Enes Kanter, and Vonleh gives you that toughness and that rebounding of Enes, but on the defensive side, he can actually play defense.
Right.
He can stretch the floor a little bit, not a great shooter, but he can at least make the defense think about him out there. So he's giving you a lot of what Kanter's giving you, but he can play defense. And I look at like long term, I said this, I think Noah Vonleh should be the power forward or center next to Kristaps. He plays like Julius Randle. Who plays for the Pelicans now. He plays the same kind of style. That's someone I wanted the Knicks to get. And I see Vonleh tough, strong. I think Kristaps isn't that tough. No, Kristaps is tough. He's not that strong. I could see that kind of yin-yang working out perfectly
they
next
can work
year.
together really
And
well.
Vonleh is going to be cheap compared to what we're going to have to pay.
Really well.
So that's a kind of another conversation. What I'm interested in is how does Fizdale talk to this group? It's kind of easy in the summer when, you know, we're not playing games, it's exciting. Yeah,
How you got your group is losing? Is that what you're saying?
Right, because you saw, what do you see today? Frustration across the board.
Yeah.
You saw Burke screaming at Hardaway. You saw Hardaway screaming at Cantor. You saw Frank screaming at Lance, but kind of at himself too. You saw, you know, Timmy was really upset. Timmy was moody all night. And now Fizdale is really going to see what he's made of because now he has to go calm these guys down.
Yeah.
Not just calm them down, keep them together to come back and play. You know, they probably have in their head they're going to lose to the Warriors already.
Right.
He's going to have these guys come out Friday and compete, and then there are winnable games coming up for sure. And I know in the NBA season, confidence goes up and down.
Right.
But it'll be interesting to see how Fizdale approaches this. I actually trust him. I think he's seeing what's going on. I want to see what he does with this lineup.
Listen, I'm just waiting for us to get a great draft pick. I mean,
she's on Team Tank.
I'm not. I'm
Nah,
not on
buddy.
Team Tank. What I am on is Team Play as hard as you can. Let these young guys play. Let's see what they're made of. And it doesn't really matter too much this season to me because KP's not here.
I agree.
We're not making the playoffs, so let's just run the game.
I agree. One thing we were talking about this is that I feel like every game's a win-win. Either they play well and they win, which is exciting to see, or like tonight, we were blown out by the start of the fourth quarter. So the entire fourth quarter, which I loved, and Fizdale just let the guys play. He let Mitch get off the bench. He let Frank play point guard for extended minutes. He let Trier play with them. He let Dotson play. Like I know when Knox is back, Knox is going to be in that group.
Right.
So the idea that we might be losing big, but then we get to see our 4 or 5 rookies
The guys
play.
that are staying with us.
And
Not the
they're gonna
guys
be
that
here.
are gone next year because
Right.
there are several guys that are not going to be here with us next year and we know who they are.
It's a money thing. These guys, it's literally impossible for us to re-sign a lot of these guys.
Right.
There's gonna be like maybe 2 of this whole group that's on these 1-year contracts coming back. So I think Vonleh's kind of getting in there, to be honest. I think Vonleh's really making his claim. Hazonia's been actually pretty decent too, but we'll see. It's a long season. There's gonna be ups and downs, but what I will say is that I think we both enjoy seeing the young guys go at it. I want to talk about Frank a little bit. Very frustrating game, up and down for us as fans. We saw a little bit of that glimpse. We saw him going there for that dunk.
We want to see him make the double figures. He made 9 points. He
Yeah,
lost
man.
that last free throw.
Frank seems to have this mindset like he is maybe on a winning team, so he just needs to do what the team needs, which is play defense and whatever. And you look compared to Knox, who Knox doesn't care what's going on. Knox trying to score, Knox trying to make something happen.
Points, yeah.
Frank, I think you saw a little bit of it in the fourth quarter, and I hope Fizdale just stays on him. I think you should set goals for Frank. Frank, you have to shoot 15 times tonight. Frank, you have to score 10 points for the next 10 games. I think Frank is someone who responds to challenges, especially if the coach is telling him, this is what I want you to do. What Frank isn't at this point is a freelance guy who's going to go out there and tell himself, all right, my turn, I'm going to score 10 points.
We watched some of Frank's old tape from back in France, and he was a much more aggressive player.
Much more aggressive.
He was getting to the rim, he was scoring, seemed a lot more confident. I mean, obviously I know it's a different league, so that plays a factor there. But you know, we have no idea what the conversation is that's going on behind closed doors. We don't know what Fizdale's really saying to him.
Right.
We don't know what's going on in Frank's mind.
I know, it's like we try to make it's hard to tell, right? Speaking of France, watching his highlights, we were like, you could see that he was the leader. He knew he had to be the leader. I know it's inferior competition, but he was also 16, and he would just, you know, he was doing things that he's capable of doing. And we've seen little flashes of it in the NBA. Every now and then you see a little bit.
Yep.
I think we just want to see that consistency. I think this season is going to be a great learning experience for him. Because what I can tell is, unlike Jeff, Fizdale will let Frank play. And
we hope so. That's what we've seen so far.
He's done it so far.
Okay, that's what we've seen so far, and that's what we...
Yeah. I actually can't see how he won't, because there's nothing to this point that has shown me. First of all, Fizdale's here for the future, and he knows that. Jeff was here on he wasn't on a 1-year contract, but he knew he wasn't really the pick of Perry. Right. He was from the Phil Jackson regime.
Right.
So he kind of knew he had to show something, so he kept trying to win. Fizdale knows no matter what, he's probably safe he's safe this year. Yeah. If we win 16 games, he's safe this year. It's about next season.
16 games and then the first draft pick.
Thank you. Cam Reddish, RJ Barrett, Zion Williamson. I'm not really Team Tank yet. I'm more like, let's see what Frank and Trier and Mitch and Knox and Dotson and these guys who are going to be here for the future can do. I'm not too down. I mean, look, bad game tonight. Treyberg was horrible. They were doing whatever they wanted on the glass. Just the offense is stagnant. So I want to see, looking for the next game, I want to see what the starting lineup is. We're playing the Warriors, so let's see kind of what Fizdale comes up with.
Let's see if he changes that up. See if he changes that starting lineup up.
Right. I think he will. He mentioned he will look at it, and I think at this point, after 4 losses in a row, something's got to change. Lance isn't really giving us much out there, but that bench unit has something.
Yeah.
So we're
They got
gonna
a little fire under them.
They got a little fire in them. So
when they step on the court, you feel that little extra energy. And I
you
like
do.
That.
You see the defense, you feel like running, even though they're not as polished offensively as Burke and Hardaway might be.
It's fine. They're gonna get there.
They're gonna get there, but
Yeah.
they play hard, and I think they play hard on both ends. And tonight we kind of saw, even though Tim Hardaway didn't have a horrible game, we did kind of see when Burke and Hardaway just taking turns running the offense. This wasn't anything there, and Frank is just not capable. And he should sometimes just take the ball from them and say, let's play some motion offense, let's get something going. He's not that player yet. And I hope Fizdale can kind of tease this out of him. One thing I will say is though, what are we losing with? Young guys that are going to be here for the future. We're not losing with veterans who are on long-term contracts that, that have no hope here.
Right.
So for me, I'm like, if we're going to lose, but I'm going to see these rookies and second-year guys go at it, I'm good because KP, like you said, KP's not here. KP's coming back. There's redraft picks. There's a free agency class. This year's about development, and keep that in mind when we lose these games because it's going to be easy to start to get negative. But remember what the purpose of this season is.
All right. I think that's it. That's our wrap up.
I think that's it too. Peace, guys.
Peace.